What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Nembeza Shezi Fanasenkandla. We are back with another video after a very long time. I do apologize for taking so long to post yet another video. Some of you have reached out to me on my social platforms, my Facebook, my Instagram. Some have even checked up on me on WhatsApp, asking me what's happening with the channel. It's been almost a month with no video, this and that and that. I do appreciate you guys' concern, and I do appreciate you guys' continuous support. I've realized that even though I haven't been posting much in the past few weeks, some of you have been continuously viewing my videos, have been continuously sharing my videos with others. The numbers just continue to climb up. I really do appreciate that, guys. I've had some personal hiccups in the past few weeks. To be honest with you guys, I've been dealing with insurance a lot. As some of you know, that in December, my partner was involved in an accident with one of our cars, and that car was written off by insurance. But now insurance was taking forever to pay that car off, and it's been frustrating me a lot. But fortunately enough, they finally paid out. And then I had to deal with shortfall insurance also, because the car had some shortfall. Even though it wasn't a lot, it was less than 10,000 rands, but I had shortfall cover on it, so I had to claim shortfall, which was also another hassle, a bit of a hassle. But we managed, you know, guys. We managed in the past 3 years that I've been into this owning cars things and whatnot. I've learned that you really need to be patient if you have to deal with insurance. Then when I thought everything was coming together, I can record yet another video. I was involved in an accident almost 2 weeks now. No, actually last week I was involved in an accident. Umageza wangishayisa robotini. Thank God I'm alive. Unfortunately, the car was severely damaged, but the good part of it is that it was not written off. It's currently being fixed. I'm hoping that that car will be back soon, because guys, yes, I've been struggling with transportation lately. Okay. Hi man, what's happening, man? Why am I not a yellow bone? Must be a yellow bone. Yes, nazoge. Before we get into today's video, I've got two things. One, we are trying to reach monetization. We are trying to reach a level where YouTube will pay us for posting videos. Yes. There's certain requirements that we need to reach. There's certain requirements that we need to reach. First being 1,000 subscribers. We need to have 1,000 subscribers, and we need to have 4,000 public watch hours. Currently, the support has been amazing. We are currently sitting on 118 subscribers, and we are on 260 something public watch hours, which is a huge achievement for me, and I can never thank you guys enough for doing so. So please do continue to share the videos, share the channel, and like my videos. By doing so, you'll also be helping someone in need, because I've got something that I want to give to someone. I'm not sure of the YouTube requirements for giveaways and whatnot, so hence I'm not gonna make this some sort of a competition and whatnot. I've got a fridge that I used to use at university that I'm not using, and I don't have a lot of storage in my house to keep it. So I would like to give that fridge to a student, preferably a first year student who's in need. It can be a second year, third year if they are struggling and they need a fridge. So please do reach out to me on my social media platforms, on my Facebook and Instagram. It's Nembeza Shezi. We are also on TikTok, so you can reach me out on TikTok. It's Anelisani Shezi. Just let me know if you know someone who might be in need of such, and we can arrange as to how they can get it. Like I said, personally, I would like it to go to a first year student who's in real need, because I know the struggle. I've been there. But yeah, I want to give that away. Without wasting any time, let's get to today's video. Today, I want us to talk about some important concepts that one needs to understand when they're purchasing a car in South Africa. As we are heading to the end of March, there's a couple of people who are looking forward to purchasing their very first car. These are most likely people who started working in January. I know because me coming out of medical school, by the way, I'm a pharmacist by profession. A lot of you have asked me, what do I do for a living? Well, I don't do much. I'm just a legal drug dealer. And yeah, I know coming out of medical school, there's people who bought their cars in January, like immediately, straight out of medical school, they went to the bank, bam. Reason why I say these are most likely people who started working in January is because one of the main requirement for applying for credit in South Africa is to have a 3 months bank statement and a 3 months pay slip. But yeah, I thought it would be very helpful for me to clarify some important concepts for such people so that they clearly understand and know these concepts when they go to the dealership, so that when the salespeople start talking about residual payments and whatnot, no one is confused. Next thing you tell us, hey, my car doesn't have balloon payment, yeah, it has residual payment. Hey baba, SEC, residual payment and balloon payment is one thing. So that's the purpose of today's video, that we clarify such things. Without wasting any time, let's get to it. The very first thing you need in order to apply for vehicle finance is a valid driver's license. Like I really don't understand people who go about buying cars and they don't have a valid driver's license. Why do you buy a car for it to be driven by your friend? Our guys, a car must be like an underwear. It's a very personal thing. You can't buy a car for the next person to drive it, unless if you are very money, you buy a car and you need a chauffeur and whatsoever. But anyways, you need a valid driver's license in order to apply for vehicle finance. The second thing and the third thing you need is 3 months bank statement and the 3 months pay slip or salary advice. Reason why I'm listing these two things consecutively is because they go hand in hand. Whatever your employer says they paid you on your salary advice or your pay slip, it must reflect on your bank statement in order for the bank to verify that you are receiving income in the form of a salary. The other thing you need in order to qualify for vehicle finance in South Africa, you need to have proof of residence. Like anything that you apply for in South Africa, proof of residence, you will always need it. And it's important that with proof of residence, it's an address or a document that reflects an address in a province where you want to register your car to, if I'm making sense. Or just to put it in simpler term, if you want your car to be a GP number plate, Gauteng number plate, you must submit proof of residence from Gauteng. If you want it to be from Limpopo, you must submit proof of residence from Limpopo, so that when they register the car, it has that ugly number plate from Limpopo. By the way, I have nothing against Limpopo or other provinces, but a car just looks best in a GP number plate. I don't want to argue about that one. If you want to argue, mina ngumZulu mina, and ugogo wami uyawazi amakhathakhatha, knows how to do the things that will make the pots not to be done. But anyways, the next thing that you need is a valid South African ID or South African identity book, or you need a valid passport, because you can apply for finance if you have a valid passport. Those are the most important requirements. If I missed out something, please do let me know in the comment section below. But those are basically the most important requirements that you need in order to apply for car finance. Before I move on to the next topic, it's important that I mention this. Guys, let us stop this thing of wanting banks and salespeople to determine whether we afford credit for a car. You personally should be able to determine that. I mean, you are the one person that knows your finances best, not the bank, not the sales guy from the dealership. The important thing for the salesperson at VW, at Audi, at Mercedes is for them to make a sale. And don't get me wrong, I know there's still some good salespeople out there who will tell you the truth, but trust me, it's only a few of them. The others, they will make sure that they make that sale, and then you'll be living on pap and eggs alone. Sit down before you buy a car, draw up a budget for yourself. I always advise people who reach out to me that look for the car that you like or you want to buy, and then use the tools that are available on the internet to calculate how much monthly installment you're gonna have to pay for that car. Do some insurance quotations. There's nothing wrong with doing that, because you know the car that you want now. You know you want a Polo Vivo. Do quotations with different insurance companies as to how much would they charge you in order to insure that car comprehensively. That's very important. Also, determine a budget for you for petrol, because at the end of the day, it's you who knows how much traveling you'll be doing with that car and all of that. Why do this? Do this in order for you to come up with a monthly cost of living with that vehicle. So like I said, if you want a Polo Vivo, do the monthly cost of living with the Polo Vivo. Let's say you come up with 6,000 rands after you've done the things that I've just mentioned. Take that 6,000 rands. There's nothing wrong. Let's stop this thing of buying a car like buying sweets. Buying a car is a very huge commitment. Once you've determined the monthly cost of living with whatever car, take that money, put it in some saving account for 6 months, 6 consecutive months. I know most people speak of 3 months, but personally, I want you to try it for 6 months. And if you can put that money aside for so many months, that will give you an idea of whether you afford that car or you don't afford that car. And you do this with your budget. So after you've calculated how much you spend on food, how much you spend on rent if you are renting, how much you spend on your bond if you are paying a bond, and then include this into your budget and see how much money you are left with after. Are you able to survive with that money, or you have to live on pap and eggs? Moving on to the next topic. The next topic is interest rates. Guys, interest rates currently are a nightmare. Currently the repo rate is sitting at 7.25%, if I'm not mistaken. And what is repo rate? Repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks like your Absa, Standard Bank, and FNB borrow money from the Reserve Bank at, because they also borrow money. So they borrow money from the Reserve Bank at a certain interest rate, and that money they borrow, they're gonna borrow it to you. They're gonna lend it to you at a certain interest rate. So repo rate is currently 7.25%. So what commercial banks do, they take the repo rate or the rate at which Reserve Bank borrows them money, they add 3.5%. Don't ask me why do they add that 3.5%, namangazi, but I assume it's because they need to also make a profit from whatever amount that the Reserve Bank have borrowed them. So 7.25% plus 3.5%, the funny 3.5% gives you 10.75%, which is currently our prime lending rate. What is prime lending rate? Prime lending rate is it is some sort of a, how can I put it? It's a referring point for banks when they are giving you credit as to where they can start determining how much interest rate they are giving to you. And it's important to know that if you've got a good credit score, you can get an interest rate that is below prime lending rate. So you can get an interest rate that is below 10.75%. But most people who have car finance, they have prime lending rate plus something. That plus something comes from your credit score, which is good, which is very important for you, which is why it's very important for you to have a good credit score. So that's my other advice to someone who's thinking of buying a car for the first time and they don't have credit history. If you are thinking of buying a car, please do reconsider that decision for this month and maybe buy a car in the next 3 months or the next 6 months, like I have stated. Reason being that if you don't have credit history, guys, if you don't have some sort of credit history, the banks are just going to rip you off in terms of interest rate. You're gonna have a very high interest rate. I've heard of people having 19% interest rates. Imagine, that's a lot of interest rate. Whereas there's someone out there who has 8% interest rate. You can also be that person by being smart about what you're doing. And how does this help you? By having a lower interest rate, the bank makes less money out of you. So you pay less money as interest to the bank than you would pay if you had a higher interest rate. So it just explains itself. Interest rate determines how much interest they add onto your credit. So let's be very, very careful of such, and let's do research on them, how to there's a lot of YouTubers who talk about how to get good interest rates, how to improve your credit score, how to negotiate your interest rates. The two that I know in South Africa who have explained it very clear is obviously Dr. Sambo, Muzi Sambo, and Nicolette Mashile, who are the two YouTubers that I watch a lot from South Africa. So please do go check them out. They will explain it to you even much better than me, and they will give you tips on how to improve it. The last thing we must talk about on interest rates is linked interest rate and fixed interest rate. The linked interest rate, this is the type of interest rate that most people who are having car finance and home loans are having currently. And it can work in your favor, but it is most likely to work against you because the market is getting worse and worse currently. So what happens with this one, it's linked to the repo rate. So any changes that happen to the repo rate, they affect your interest rate. So just to kind of give you an idea, they are directly proportional. So if the repo rate goes down, your interest rate goes down and your installment goes down. If the repo rate goes up, the interest rate goes up and your installment goes up, and you live on pap and eggs. And then we come to the fixed interest rate. This one is usually slightly higher than the linked interest rate. But the good thing about it is that no matter what happens to the repo rate, your interest rate remains the same. So if you buy a car in 2023 and you buy it at 8%, in 2025, if you still have the same car and the same loan, you still remain with 8%, irregardless of what has happened to the repo rate in 2024 and the likes. So it never changes, irregardless of what happens to repo rate. The only problem with this one is that it's usually slightly higher, and most of the time the sales people at the car dealerships, they don't explain it to you, or they don't tell you about the fixed term interest rate because they want to give you the lower interest rate so that they can make a sale. But I have nothing against salespeople. Like I said, there's still some good salespeople out there, but most salespeople, the most important thing to them is to make a sale. And the only way for them to make a sale is to mention the lower interest rate to you so that you buy the car, and then anything happens to repo rate, you are on your own. And then lastly, but not least, I wanted us to talk about demo cars, used cars, and brand new cars. What are the differences? Let's start with the brand new car. A brand new car, there's nothing to explain about it. You are the first owner, you are the first person to put kilometers on it. It smells brand new, lekker, sharp. The most confusing two, it's a demo car and a pre-owned car. let's start with the demo car. Demo comes from the word demonstration, so it's a demonstration car. These are cars usually registered, well, not usual, they're always registered under the dealership, but they are usually of low mileage. These are cars dealership they use for test drives to customers. When customers come and want to do test drives, these are the cars they use. These are the cars they use for launches, when they do launches, for promotion, when they're promoting a car. These are the cars that sales executives use to run around doing errands for the dealership, depending on where the dealership is situated. So these cars are usually of low mileage, and them being cars that are used as show cars. Like, if I want to sell something to you, I want you to experience the best part of it. What point am I trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is that they will put all the nice optional extras onto these cars in order for you to be attracted to that car. And what's the benefit of that? The benefit of that is that when you buy a demo car, you're buying a car that's already been hit by depreciation, because it's already a used car, even though it's been registered under the dealership, but it's got certain number of kilometers onto it, usually, which is low kilometers, like I said. But you're not buying it at the price of a brand new car. It's already at a lower price, and the benefit is that you get a good car with history that you can trace, because, like I said, the dealership has only been the only owner, and you get a car that's usually loaded with optional extras, of which you now not pay extra for. And then a pre-owned car is a car that has been sold to Nembeza Shezi. He drives it for 10,000 kilometers, 20,000 kilometers, 100,000 kilometers, and he decides 3 years down the line or 2 years down the line, I want to improve, or I want to upgrade into a new car. Takes the car, trades it in back to the dealership, and the dealership now sells the very same car to the next person. That's a pre-owned car. And these ones, obviously, they are always, like, not really always, they are usually lower in terms of price. They are of lower prices. But the thing is with pre-owned cars is that you don't always have the full history of the car, because you don't know how the previous owner was treating the car, how many repairs has it made, and all of those things. But those are just the basic differences between the three. If you were to ask me which one to buy, I would lean more towards buying a demo car. But if you want a brand new car, I know there's that thing that comes with buying a brand new car, you being the first owner and all of that, blah 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 blah. But guys, depreciation is real when it comes to cars. Okay, I've dragged this video for far too long. It's becoming too long, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. Secondly, I chose the wrong time for me to DVD this video. Reason being, we're in South Africa and it is about to be load shedding, and in this house we don't have backup as yet. So I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna do part 2 of this video, because I still wanted to discuss the issue of deposit and balloon, the benefits, the disadvantages, and all of that. But for now, let's end this video here. If you've made it this far, you are a real one. I do appreciate you guys' love and support. Please do continue to subscribe to the channel. Remember, we're trying to reach that level of getting the mula from YouTube. So please do continue to subscribe. Please do continue to like the videos, share, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.